is the best solution. Giga players claiming they're greater, but it's never proven. Frustrated, game I wrapped it up and duct taped it. Going hard when composing balls, none wasted, sun saving. You ain't half as ill. Guru in the booth and got that master pill. I'm the truth that lyrics matter still. King P's, these fleas threaten when I'm present. Recognize the blessing. Send flowers in my direction while I'm here to smell them. Lyrics locked in my cerebellum. Wanting all the smoke with them jokers. Go ahead and tell them that I'm here to melt them. And send them all. Beats it like when Derek run the ball. I ain't fearing none of y'all. I'm a titan. Coldest nights in my kitchen writing. Now I'm rubbing shoulders with Michael Eric Dyson. Lyrics strike them. Different from these kids they hyping. Say my name, Del P. Don't forget the hyphen. Who saying they better point them out? Boy, I doubt. Worth enormous amounts, soon to have corporate accounts, future mogul. Who Max Sony, my music global. BET, MTV, you dudes local. Told you, please don't say I didn't. I'm bringing light to my people like Akon did it. Soon to sell out seats in any place I visit. Murder in the first, they gon' say I did it. D-E-L-L, hyphen to the P. So not for sale, I-O-N-G. All hell the night is MC. One more time, I'm to be a breakthrough. Gotta watch for cowards cause they high off leaning K2. Got his king praise due. Lot of teams hateful. Playing the block, wanna apply for college or trade school. Rather follow grateful. Only live once, it's not a phase two. Treat it golden and never let your haters see emotion. Always keep it rolling. People chosen to get the people open. Lyricity, yeah, I keep it quoting. Definition and MIC controlling. I invested in myself, LLC in motion, artist slash CEOing. Leveling up, you see it's growing. My own machine, never settling for weak promotion. They try to mute you when you're not the usual. I got it locked from PHI way down to Honolulu. Yeah, they front, but when you up, scream about how they knew you. When you was young, I am not the one, I see right through you. I rebuke you. All squares get them from near me. No subliminal, I'm sending it clearly. Pretend they don't fear me. No one with this pen, it gets scary. I lead careers ended severely. You hear me? They just catching on, don't know my business hot. Wait till I get the platform that Cole and Kendrick got. Lord knows the war shows I don't attempt to watch. Artists be garbage, should be mopping up a chicken spot. D-E-L-L, hyphen to the P. So not for sale, I-O-N-G. All hell the night is MC. One more time, I'm D-E-L-L, hyphen to the P. So not for sale, I-O-N-G. All hell the night is MC.
I like that. Yeah.
Get my name right. D-E-L-L, hyphen to the P. Yeah. Execution is the best solution. Giga players claiming they're greater, but it's never proven. Frustrated, game I wrapped it up and duct taped it. Going hard when composing balls, none wasted, sun saving. You ain't half as ill. Guru in the booth and got that master pill. I'm the truth that lyrics matter still. King P's, these fleas threaten when I'm present. Recognize the blessing. Send flowers in my direction while I'm here to smell them. Lyrics locked in my cerebellum. Wanting all the smoke with them jokers. Go ahead and tell them that I'm here to melt them. And send them all. Beats it like when Derek run the ball. I ain't fearing none of y'all. I'm a titan. Coldest nights in my kitchen writing. Now I'm rubbing shoulders with Michael Eric Dyson. Lyrics strike them. Different from these kids they hyping. Say my name, Del P. Don't forget the hyphen. Who saying they better point them out? Boy, I doubt. Worth enormous amounts, soon to have corporate accounts, future mogul. Who Max Sony, my music global. BET, MTV, you dudes local. Told you, please don't say I didn't. I'm bringing light to my people like Akon did it. Soon to sell out seats in any place I visit. Murder in the first, they gon' say I did it. D-E-L-L, hyphen to the P. So not for sale, I-O-N-G. All hell the night is MC. One more time, I'm D-E-L-L, hyphen to the P. So not for sale, I-O-N-G. All hell the night is MC. About to be a breakthrough. Gotta watch for cowards cause they high off leaning K2. Got his king praise due, lot of teams hateful. Playing the block, wanna apply for college or trade school. Rather follow grateful. Only live once, it's not a phase two. Treat it golden and never let your haters see emotion. Always keep it rolling. People chosen to get the people open. Lyricity, yeah, I keep it quoting. Definition and MIC controlling. I invested in myself, LLC in motion, artist slash CEOing. Leveling up, you see it's growing. My own machine, never settling for weak promotion. They try to mute you when you're not the usual. I got it locked from PHI way down to Honolulu. Yeah, they front, but when you up, scream about how they knew you. When you was young, I am not the one, I see right through you. I rebuke you. All squares get them from near me. No subliminal, I'm sending it clearly. Pretend they don't fear me. No one with this pen, it gets scary. I leak careers ended severely. You hear me? They just catching on, don't know our business hot. Wait till I get the platform that Cole and Kendrick got. Lord knows the war shows I don't attempt to watch. Artists be garbage, should be mopping up a chicken spot. D-E-L-L, hyphen to the P. So not for sale, I-M-N-G. All hell and ISIS MC. One more time, I'm D-E-L-L, hyphen to the P. So not for sale, I-M-N-G. All hell and ISIS MC.
All right. That was my guy, LP. This new track from this got that thing. Don't forget to hype it. That's LPELL. It's sure you have more hype it. We had LP on months earlier. On the interview here on the Cover Podcast. So y'all can check that out on the weekend and YouTube. But I want to just say welcome back. We got a great topic for you. We got a couple people in gotta get off the phone. Live audience because I'm gonna be glad for my podcast. We do have the right to play the song from Del P. Also a member of the Humag family, and Del P submitted this song for radio and podcast play. So today, our topic, we have live audience. I have live audience sometimes, so y'all know, pardon that interference or whatever, you know what I mean. My girl drove in from Florida, and we also got 10 LeVar in the building, so you know, anybody need a massage while she's in the area, them hands is gonna work. And that is what's it called? Hand and Stone. And she also owns her own business, Ultimate Touch, down in Daytona, Florida. All right. So hit me up, and then I'm the plug. I'm the plug. Like I told y'all, I'm the plug. Right. Yeah, I'm the plug. What's up, y'all out there on the Instagram land, over there, Facebook land, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter land. We're on all these platforms, anywhere you get your podcasts, okay? So make sure you check us out over there, YouTube land. We ain't forget you guys. We love you, all right? So today, our topic is, do our thoughts define our reality? And you may not think it does, you know what I mean? But we are going to give credit to Amy Morin, who is a psychotherapist and an international best-selling author of 13 Things Mentally Strong That People Don't Do, and 13 Things Mentally Strong Parents Don't Do. Her books are translated into more than 30 languages. She's also a lecturer at Northeastern University. Her articles attract over 2 million readers every month. Okay. Yes. So, your thoughts are a catalyst for self-perpetuating cycles. You think directly influences how you think, and what you think directly influences how you behave. Wherever your mind is at. So, you know what? It's like if you try to do something and you think that you're a failure at it, you're going to feel like a failure. You're going in. You're going in. You're like, I can't do this.
Yep,
you know what I mean?
Negative vibe.
Going in with a negative vibe. Yep. You'll act like a failure. That's it. So it reinforces your belief that you must be a failure then. So we actually live in a world of thought. Our thoughts create our experiences, and we just experience what we think. It's the quality of your thoughts. They create the quality of your life. So if you think bad shit, your quality of life is bad.
Right.
Yeah. So I believe that your thoughts do your mind is very powerful, put it this way. If you're like most people, you probably spend a little time just reflecting on what you're thinking about. You know what I mean? You don't sit there and say, let me start thinking about this. You know what I mean? Or sometimes we do. What's up, my bro? Raw Bucks in the building. I love you. I do. Anyway, if you don't sit there and you think about, let me start thinking about this so I won't feel like this. You know what I mean? We think about something and it might make us sad. We just sit there and we be sad. Instead, that might be the only time that we do say, let me snap out of it. You know what I mean? When you're feeling blue or down or something. That might be the only time that I might, well, for me, that I might say, let me stop. You know what I mean? Everything's okay. But the way you think about yourself turns into reality, seriously. If you draw inaccurate conclusions about who you are and what you're capable of doing, you limit yourself. You limit your potential. You limit your life. Because you're not thinking right. Be better than that. Let me just give you
No, I was just listening to what you were saying. I was saying that's why it's important to be careful what you feed your mind and what you take and what you sit around and absorb. Because those things around you that absorb, they affect how you think, whether in a negative light or in a positive light. If you're around people who are constantly on the up and up, people who are constantly progressing, people who are constantly taking time throughout their day to meditate, you know what I'm saying? Those things, they rub off on you and they change your outlook and an aspect of how you go into things, and it helps you along the way. Whether you want to take your time and get up and say today's going to be a great day or today's going to be a negative day. Right. It depends on what's around you. It's about your surroundings and what you keep around you. That's what actually modifies your mind to be positive or negative.
Yeah, and it all depends on you, which way you want to go, how you want to think, how you want to feel. You know what I mean? If you want, if you keep
It's
that,
about character.
It's about what you could profess,
yeah,
out of your mouth, what you want, you know what I mean, will come to you, you know what I mean?
exactly.
If
You know, so you're saying
always
you're speaking it into existence.
right.
That means that's where your mind, you're
That's what
thinking
your
about
mind, that's what your
which way
mind
you
says,
go.
that's what you're gonna do. That's, you know what I mean? That's
So, you know, some examples is, you know, if you're saying I'm just not good enough to advance in my career, you know,
you never
so
will.
that you never will, you
Right.
know, that's like giving you the ammunition for the lack of effort to even
to even
get that
progress,
promotion.
right?
You know
Right.
what I mean?
And
You just,
negativity.
yeah,
Already.
because you
gotta
feel
say,
like
I'm
you're
gonna
not
accomplish this,
worthy.
I'm gonna do this.
Yeah,
Whatever you
yeah,
set your mind to, whatever you, like I said, confess,
yeah,
profess, you can do
yeah,
it. If you say I'm gonna pass this test, you're gonna pass it.
yeah.
You know what I mean? You're gonna study for it. You're gonna do whatever it takes to pass the test. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And in my industry, you know, there's a lot of people that will say, you know, I'm really socially awkward. So, you know, when we go to like a networking event or a social gathering, you know, they stay in the corner by themselves. So, you know what? Nobody speaks to them. And they believe that they are socially awkward. I know it because me, I'm around. Hey, how you doing? My name is Danny Smitty, and this is what I do. And I know you do this and do that, and it's nice to see you. You know what I mean? Or what do you do if I don't know you? You know what I mean? So I'm not socially awkward when I go to events because I'm already in my mind that I'm going to network.
Plus,
You
you're
know?
not gonna be socially awkward at this point in your career anyway. You done been around too many events and shit. And, you know, it's not to be
I'll be
It's
around.
not to be afraid of. You can go up to talk to people. Yeah, that socially awkward shit.
That's why they sitting over
shit,
there and not over here because they're socially awkward.
We taking a different view on it.
And mine already told them.
I'm trying to be in the congregation today.
Live audience. So, but that's what you get when you come to the Comfort Level Podcast. I do have a live audience. Let me fix this up. It's a little thing. Reality Music CEO in the building.
We out here watching with y'all.
Yeah, they're out here watching. Right. So, you know what I mean? All right. So, you know what I mean? What else we got? Okay. Now, your beliefs, they get reinforced. Once you draw a conclusion about yourself, you're likely to do two things. Look for evidence that reinforces your belief and discount anything that runs contrary to your belief. Get rid of it. You know what I mean? If it's not nothing that you believe in, you should get rid of it. That would make you a more confident person. Right. You know what I mean? Somebody who develops the belief that he's a failure will each mistake as proof that he's not good enough. When he does succeed at something, he'll chalk it up to luck. That's what he'll say. Oh, I got lucky. You know what I mean? You know, but you always believing that you're a failure, but you can do this shit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's crazy. You know,
having a confidence.
Yeah. Like if you have skills, you might be holding back because you have the lack of, you know what I mean?
Confidence.
Yeah. Or it's your beliefs. You know, you just believe that you're going to fail and then you don't do it.
Yeah,
you don't
you're
do
already
it.
set for sabotage.
You have to create a more positive outlook, and that will lead you to more better outcomes. That's it. Absolutely. You know, It's not to say that positive thoughts have magical powers or nothing like that, but the optimistic thoughts, they lead to a productive behavior. That's it. You know what I mean? It's the behavior. You need to be productive each and every moment of your life. Productive.
Absolutely.
Yes, I don't stop.
Right.
That's right. That increases your chances of a successful outcome.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to challenge your conclusions. You got to challenge them. Take a look at the different labels that you placed on yourself, okay? Me, I'm an artist developer. Me, I'm a media personality. You know what I mean? Labels that we put on ourselves. So that's why I had to be here at 5 o'clock on I don't even know what today is. Thursday.
Tuesdays and Thursdays.
On Tuesdays and Thursdays. Yeah, say it like that. It's a good save. You know, I have to be here, you know, because those are the labels that I put on myself, regardless. Oh, well, regardless, I got somebody else coming in. Let me bring her in. I'm sorry, I just running my mouth. We got Mobile Queen in the building. I don't even know how long she's waiting on me. The Queen is here. So let me should I have this thing looking at me the whole time I was trying to have it at the screen? Let me turn around. No. Hold on. All right, there it is. Somehow, there she is on my gram with me. Put you on this Instagram. Yeah. So we were saying challenge your beliefs, you know. The good news is you can change how you think. Everybody, welcome Mogul Queen to the podcast.
Hey, Queen. Hey, Queen.
We got a lot
thank you, y'all. Hey, y'all.
Mogul Queen, she's know that she runs her own agency and well, shit. The went so crazy, like it's a nonprofit agency called Rare Jewel, and she supports children and teaches them all about safety and mental health and all this stuff. But her thing done went is more than left field. It went through the whole baseball diamond, and she's doing it. She's doing the mental health awareness from all levels. You know what I mean? So, I mean, what else can I say about it? You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. So let me just wrap this up so that we can get into you. I was just saying that we need to challenge our beliefs, perform behavioral experiments that test how true our beliefs really are. You know, because we were saying, if you weren't tuned in, that what we think controls mostly what we believe and what our life is like. You know, to break it down into layman terms. You know, the good news is we can change how we think. We can alter the perception and change our lives. You know, you just gotta, you know, we just gotta acknowledge the exceptions to every rule and remind that, you know, what we believe isn't always true. You know what I mean? And we also covered, like, you know, your surroundings and what you surround yourself with and how you think. And like, say, if you get up in the morning and say, I'm going to have a bad day, you probably will have a bad day. You know what I mean? But so instead of getting up in the morning and you pray to God and say, God, you got this, and I know the day is blessed. Thank you for the day. Your day is going to be better. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
No matter what goes on. That's right. you know? So you can train your brain to think differently. And, you know, when we give up the self-limiting stuff, all the stuff that you thought that you couldn't do, you know, stop thinking that you can't do it and you do it. Now, Mogul Queen is going to come and tell us how she thought she couldn't do a damn thing. What's up with that? What are you doing?
Absolutely. Well, I want to
What?
start off by saying that I had trained my mind to have a quote when I was younger that says a bad day doesn't equal a bad life, and a bad life will never equal up to a bad day. So every day I push forward that, you know, one bad day wouldn't determine my life. But if I every day I woke up and it was a bad day, then it would be a bad life that I would have came to at the end of my life. So I every day I try to put a positive foot forward, and can't we can I overcame a lot of adversities, even with my own thoughts. You know, I had to wipe out some of my thoughts to let in new thoughts and the reality that I wanted to see. It was very dark. It you know, very depressing, a lot of fears, a lot of doubts, and the the ironic part about it is that everything that I overcame, I became. So I just think back to my life like, wow, everything that all my dark thoughts, everything that I was once reality is now things that I advocate and I put in preventative measures for. So, you know, it can if you change your thoughts, you definitely can change the reality, but your thoughts do definitely define your reality because when I thought about certain thoughts, it took me into certain places and certain emotions and certain rooms that I didn't want to be in and around certain crowds that I didn't want to be around and getting into certain troubles that I didn't need in my
Yeah.
life. And once I came out of them thoughts and I had a different reality, everything changed in my life, and now I advocate and do preventative measures for it.
Yeah. So for the people
So,
that don't know what your foundation is actually about, could you let us know where you're located and what your foundation is about?
yes. So, you know, I have two. I have the nonprofit organization, which is Rare Jewel Nonprofit Organization here in the city of Camden, New Jersey, where we raise awareness for traumatic brain injury children related to near drowning. And we also do education and pool safety awareness. And we collect and distribute life jackets and give them out to children 5 and under. And then the MQ Consulting Agency, I am a special needs advocate, international special needs advocate on preventative and advocacy services within the educational setting due to mental impairment in children. Just trying to change the trajectory of how children are viewed because, like you said, the thoughts define our reality, and a lot of kids in here in the city of Camden have been brought up in environmental poverty, a lot of family dynamics, separations in the home, just everyday living and just coming out into society gives them a thought that is really reality. So I just step in and try to adjust some of the criteria or the settings around them so they could be able to thrive in the educational setting. But these days, I find myself being a special needs advocate for more than just that. I've had a few cases, um, well, one case in the nursing home setting, and today I just had one in the juvenile justice setting. So it is very, very vital now for us to know that this is an epidemic crisis that is not going to go away. It's actually going to get a little worse before it get better for the simple fact that people still not understanding that children neurological process wasn't made to process these thoughts, and this shouldn't be their reality. So once they get that together and try to get them to move forward, basically like numbing their thoughts, I believe this society will be able to accept children having a mental impairment and be able to adjust all the criteria to support a child growing up, which is basically sometimes alone, even though they're in a home surrounded by family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a hard job because the demand is so great for
children
help
to
for these kids. You know what I
and
mean?
mental health is
And it's
so
not just the kids. You
it's
know,
the parents that
yeah.
probably
You know, it's all the way down, like she said, nursing home.
well that
Hmm.
too.
You
Like
know,
a
so
child literally can get lost between a two-parent household because one of my cases, like the child literally is lost between two-parent household. The father lives now with a new wife, a new family, and the wife isn't accepting of the child, and then the mother is too of course mentally impaired to keep on functioning with the children, so she left the home and left like the grandparents to raise the child. Grandparents don't really know how to, raise a emotionally unstable child. So
yeah,
like the child literally got lost between both parents and
Right.
literally lost between both parents, lost in society and lost in the system all the way together because now, the child needs definitely wrapped around services so he can be able to flourish in within his own environment.
Right. Oh wow.
yeah.
Mm.
And then
That's a hard
some of these children, some of the parents don't even know some of the things that can be done, or when the kids are having trouble in school or something's wrong with the kids. It could be people don't realize it may be, or it could be something simple that could change the whole direction of the young child's life.
Absolutely, it definitely can, and that's what I come in and I identify that the child has a mental impairment. Identify what can be the cause of the mental impairment. Just doing a basic questionnaire of it could come down to three basic questions, and identify that the child does not need to be in a school setting right now due to of course being mentally impaired. There's no way to educate a child that is thoughts are not his reality right now. So you have to take them out of the school setting real fast and get them the proper help. It could be trauma informed care. It can be mental health services, whatever the child's care need to, stabilize that neurological process before the child can move forward and actually be able to learn and listen,
Yeah,
or say listen and learn, rather say.
yeah, yeah. And then there's the children that are already misdiagnosed. I mean,
Yes,
it is it's not just one thing. It is so much, and you know, it's radiating state to state. You
hmm
know what I mean? Because I don't know. How do you feel? I feel like people haven't even been that much aware of what's going on. You know what I mean? Within these school systems, how they, should be taking care of the children and stuff like that, and alerting the parents on different things that's going on. You know what I mean? Instead of, just, okay, you detention, principal's office, you, remedial, you know what I mean?
absolutely. And I definitely agree with that because, as a behavior analytic, you should be able to identify that something is going on with a child, especially if it's repetitive behaviors. If they, only act out around a certain time of the year or a certain time out of the day, or, just come in with a personality of, looking depression. Some depression doesn't look the same in a child as in it looks like an adult. A lot of depression in children actually are more hostile. They're more violent in children than they are in adult. Adult depressives, they go like into depressive mode, sleep or drugs or something like that. But a child that's depressed is really real hostile and real violent, or real just out of control, not listening, or would exhibit them kind of behaviors.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just a lot. So I know
It
you've
is
been.
a lot, but you know what? Like I strongly believe in saving one young life. So every day I make a foot forward to saving one young life. out here in the city of Camden. And of course, I get calls from other places and other counties and other townships, and I do assist those children. But I believe that it's been a lot of, like I said, overlook inside the city of Camden. You know, like how do you want children to move forward? Like for example, I was talking to a group of teenage girls. They all in senior in high school, and and they was like, "Well, how do you want us to basically come in here and expect to be taught by teachers, faculty, and staff that is basically talking about the criteria of the school in front of us? Like, if we're such a problem, why are you teaching us? If there's a
And that's
problem in the
their
school,
way
why are you
of
in the
thinking.
school?"
This is what we're talking about.
Right.
Their way
So it's like,
of
then
they
if you don't have no
already
interest, I don't got no
coming in the
interest. Like,
door. No, but coming in the door, they're already thinking one way, that
mm-hmm,
they're never going to be helped,
mm-hmm,
until they find you.
mm-hmm. So it's just like, I was just taking in more. So I was just listening to them and just actually taking in how they were viewing the school, because that's their reality. So I was like, how's school? Like, first week of being a senior. And the crazy part, is only a week and a half in, and this is what they came up with. This was their actually review of the school. Like, how can a week and a half in, that's your review of the school? That is poor management and poor leadership inside a school setting.
Wow. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how they feel coming in, you know what I mean? And it's important to have somebody reach out and try to help switch these mindsets. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
They, they're already coming in thinking that they're a failure. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They don't change their mindset and say, listen, I'm going here. When I come out here, I'm going to have something accomplished.
Absolutely.
Know what path I'm going in. I'm going to know what direction. I'm going to go in here and make sure I get some answers.
Mm-hmm. Like, and especially they children. Children, I mean, growing up along the way, we all made mistakes, but one mistake shouldn't define how they are as a person, you know, because especially while they're younger, they just growing and learning. And like I said, a lot of the stuff that we listen to actually becomes us too, because it becomes our
Wow.
reality, because it goes into our thoughts. And like, you're literally viewing your educators talking about the way the educational setting is in front of you. Is like, well, I don't want to be here, or am I sure that you're the person that's going to actually lead me? Because actually, it's a federal law that children need to be in school between whatever times, and of course Monday through Friday. So for a great portion of the day, they're in your care. And a lot of the city schools have been known to be a safe haven too for children. So they're coming there to feel safe and secure and ultimately find love. And they're not finding none of that inside a school setting. And they actually being talked about right in front of them, or their peers, or, faculty to faculty and staff. And then, of course, everything starts to become like, well, I don't want to be here no more. I just escaped that at home. Now I got to come here and listen to this in a different light. Like, I don't want to be here either. And then we have a lot of dropout rates.
Yeah, but what's the answer for that, that they give if that being talked about right in front of them? You know what I
Well,
mean? What are
I
they saying?
mean, like, of course, like a lot of teachers, they don't care. They probably might end up taking them to the office for talking back, like, or like, mind your business type thing. Like, you don't have to be over here in this business. And then, of course, the children here in the city of Camden, they good on rebuttaling, so they might got a good comeback, and then that'll send them to the office. And this is teacher versus child, a student. So ultimately, the teacher will win.
Ultimately, so it's a lose situation unless they do have an advocate. So
Right, and that's how I come in as an advocate. And then I basically straighten out the situation. I identify what happened. I identify that who was wrong in this case, whether it was the child or whether it was the teacher. But I more so try to stay away from what was wrong and actually come up with a solution to the problem by addressing that it shouldn't have been done in the first place. and also moving forward, just giving a safety plan for that child so the child could be safely removed and don't have no suspensions, because I really, really don't like suspensions. It's a criminal record within the school system. If you get a lot of suspensions, you won't be able to go to one of the great colleges, around the world. And a lot of the outlets for children will be the college, sleeping in of course, in dorms in college, and experiencing life starts in college. So I want them to be able to go, to good colleges renowned around the world. So I try to make sure that they don't get suspensions and things like that. So I addressed and put stuff in place by putting safety plans and what to do if the child does show, out of control behaviors. So there's a
Yeah,
few things that could be done, but a lot of people have really, really, really didn't take their titles serious no more. So I have to really put people to back to work when I come in the building.
wow.
Okay.
Ooh, excuse me. I'm drinking this wine to make me yawn. Sorry.
Not
Huh?
I said I'm not a 20.
You did? That stuff is good as blueberry. Too bad, my girl,
Mhm.
So
Ada,
that's
your sister Ada.
Oh
No,
yeah,
yeah,
she'd have been. She
yeah.
definitely would have been over there with you.
Have a little glass of wine to relax. That's it. Yeah, but yeah, that it's really good that somebody is out here, because it's been years and years and years for schools to not, you know what I mean, take care of these kids, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And people don't know that there's federal laws, right?
Hmm. And federal resources as well for the school. Just coming in as legal aid. Like there's a lot of legal aid. There's a lot of policies and procedure that they must follow when a child is actually identified. So a lot of the teachers are like, it just a whole slew of things, because like even when I talked to the girl and I was like, well, who's the guidance counselor? They couldn't tell me who was the guidance counselor, and they're seniors. And I'm like, well, y'all don't have no social worker, no guidance counselor. They was like, well, she be busy. I'm like, well, how many guidance counselors is there? Because there should be more than one. They knew who the guidance counselor was, but they didn't know who the social worker was. And on the social worker, it should be more than one social worker inside of the school, especially with these high schools within the city,
That's crazy.
and not
So
more so to like identify like any child abuse or anything like that but more so to support and elevate them in the school setting, just giving them that ultimate support of what's going on. I seen earlier in elementary school the other day, this young young girl, she's probably like in first grade. She came to school with no uniform on, and of course all children have to line up in the courtyard, and she comes in with no uniform. The parents are of course they have a language barrier, they're a different race, and she comes in the schoolyard. She must be a Filipino little girl. And the security guard yells, "Oh, you're gonna get in trouble for not wearing a uniform today." Very out loud in front of all the children. And I'm looking like, why would you identify that right here, right now, in front of all the children? And she's only in first grade. She's not responsible for herself. She did come with a parent, but clearly there's a language barrier there. So why would you even identify that right now in front of all the children? And she just fell to the ground and just started crying, hugging on her lunch bag. Like, what?
wow.
So there's a lot of things that needs to be addressed and identified throughout the city. So
Mm,
I really have a lot of work to do, and of course I'm moving forward into even training. Going to be moving forward into training other people, whoever want to be involved in becoming a special needs advocate, and just teaching them like the things that I know and how can we move forward on identifying these things and addressing the issues, and shaping back up the school system so our children could thrive and not be pipelined to prison.
no.
uh-huh.
I understand, it has to happen. People have to have somebody to represent, it's not even that, going to prison is saving the lives, period, because
Mm-hmm.
more kids are being, they're not wise on being abducted, you know what I mean, and things like that,
Yep.
and killing each other and stuff like that. You know what I mean? They need the education. All this stuff should have come to an end. We should have strategies and plans in place. Like fall back dead on it. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Situations arise.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know.
And that's a lot of, and that's that God honest truth. And a lot of kids, I'm starting to see like they don't even care about being adopted. Like they don't care. They like, well, maybe it might be better somewhere else because everything around them right now is just not their reality.
Yeah,
Every thought that they have is
right.
dark. They like maybe it might be better, but and that's how a lot of children go missing in the city of Camden. Every day, children go missing, or a lot of children commit suicide here in the city of Camden.
And we
And
gotta
it's just it's a
stop that too. Yeah.
mm-hmm,
Yeah, you don't hear about that stuff all the time on the news or
You don't hear
whatever.
about it now.
I was checking to see if we had any comments or whatever. But you don't hear about it on the news and stuff like that. You know? We
absolutely.
don't.
Yep.
Nope. That- It's
Trust
just a
and
lot
believe.
of
I see cases, I've seen cases, 13-year-olds, sex trafficking on 7 different sex trafficking websites from here in the city of Camden. Um, you know, just doing their thing and they don't think nothing wrong with it.
Mhm.
it's there. And nobody's teaching the kids how to protect themselves. They don't have code words or nothing like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Not
Nothing
to.
like that. Like
Mm-hmm.
it is crazy because like where I live at here in an apartment complex, I know a couple of my neighbors, you know what I mean? But it's like, okay, if your neighbors don't know you, how do you know if these neighbors are cool or not? You know what I mean? Or
Mm-hmm.
what type of people they are, even though they seem cool, they don't bother nobody and stuff like that.
But you don't.
But you would think that you would be kind of tight with some of them to say, in a case of emergency, if this happened to me, you know what I mean, or have some kind of code or some kind of that stuff doesn't even happen anymore.
Right. Right. I was teaching my children the other day,
And for
what to
themselves,
do in case of fire, and like they were like, like looking like, what are you teaching us? I'm just teaching the
yeah,
basics of everyday living. You
get
gotta
the
know
hell
what to
out.
do in case of a fire.
Yeah, my daughter had gave her kids a code, some code to say.
Hmm.
You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Yep.
But
That's all
yeah,
important. That's very important.
all the kids, all of them need to know. You know what I mean? If the fire's
Hmm.
over out here, if the fire's over here, go out here. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Yeah. I had something sitting there, so I'll tell you exactly what to pick up to bust the window the hell out. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Hmm. Yep. And
Yeah.
that's and you know what? And a lot of that stuff need to come back because a lot of children, they're growing into their own thoughts. Like they not giving them no direction. Nobody's giving them no more direction and allowing them to live liberal. And a lot of the children don't need to live liberal. They really thrive well when you give them direction and show them an approach on how to, keep on growing in life. If you just tell a child go ahead and live your life, they just gonna make whatever decision that comes to them. Whatever thought, and whether it's they won't even know if it's good or bad or it's gonna change them or you know uh degrade them or anything. They just moving forward with life, which is a lot of the children here in the city of Camden between the ages of 10 and 15. A lot of the parents already view them as adults by the time they're 10, and so their thoughts and reality is, hey, I could take care of myself. I'm gonna go out here and do whatever I want to do, and I
They
fall to the
should.
system. I fall to the system.
Yeah, a lot of that shit led us into trauma. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's why.
Yep.
That's why a lot of the neighborhoods and stuff and the environment is in trauma because of the things that they
Yes.
was and the things that they let go, and you know what I mean, and the way previous generations was living. You know, the things that we just believed was normal altered us,
Absolutely.
altered our brain
Absolutely.
into thinking that it's okay. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? It's not always okay. It's not.
Yep. And
You
remember, I had did in
gotta
the
take it
seminar. Once the brain is altered, it can't be reversed. It only can be adjusted to what's going on at the present moment.
right. You know, not taking nothing away from our ancestors or anything like that, but some of that stuff, we really took to heart.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right.
So
I definitely do a lot of traditional stuff with my children. I keep as much as I can in place as far as like rules and regulations in the home, and they have to abide by, even as an adult. Like, you already know the rules don't change because you now 21. I'm your mother forever, so you're going to be my son forever.
right,
So
that's
these rules still stay in place here, and it's better to be a little strict than a little lenient.
exactly.
Because the world is not going to be lenient to them when they get out into the world. And that's what I used to tell my sons, because I have 4 sons, so I'm like, the world would never be lenient to you, so I'm not going to be lenient either.
And that's one good point of the truth. The world
Hmm.
isn't going to be lenient to it, especially a young black male. It's harder for them. You know
Oh,
what I
trust
mean?
me, my kids will tell you. I'll be digging in deep. I'm like, look, it's definitely laws in place for you, and the color, the darker you are, the darker the law get. I tell them all the time, under the judicial system, they'll tear you up. All these laws right here, they'll tear you up alive. I say y'all very dark, so they'll definitely get y'all. I told them, I said it's a law, and then there's A, B, and C. I said that C is the darkest one, and they'll make sure to go all the way through for the same. I said nobody comes out with the same charge, the same amount of time. I said trust and believe you'll be sitting in jail with the same charges as a lighter person next to you, and y'all have a different amount of time, and you could
Mm.
have been a better child growing up than that child. But it all comes down to is certain criterias that in certain families that they will attend to and won't attend to. I said I am a sole provider for y'all. I'm a single parent. They'll definitely look at that as a barrier, because then we're in the city of Camden. It's another barrier. I say you have a lot of things that's against you. You might as well just go on ahead now and don't even worry about getting yourself caught up in the laws, and follow mines. Mines is way more better than the ones that you will have to follow later on if you go into the system.
I know that's right. I know that's right. You gotta let them know. That's the only way.
Yeah.
We're gonna save them. That's the only way we're gonna save them. Well, I just want
Hmm.
to for the work that you're doing in and out the city. Um, you've been traveling, speaking in other cities and things like that. Which is great. Your mission. Yeah, the mission is spreading.
Yes.
Mission.
Thank you so much. It
Yeah.
definitely is. I've been in trainings, just trying to learn more. Just getting deeper into the thoughts of the child's reality. So I've been, doing ACEs training, which is adverse childhood experiences. I've been, going up to uh different cities and just trying to learn from what other people have came up with, which mine's equals up to what they're talking about. So I like that as well. That my structure on how I'm identifying things is really really still holding strong. on how I do it. So not only the IP services are getting put in, I'm putting in other services to make sure that that child is wrapped around in the school setting, which I have seen differences in children. And you already know last year I had my first case that senior graduated and was
Yeah.
able to come overcome his adversities. The traveling is like picking up, and y'all need to keep me in prayer because I definitely want to start taking it more so international and letting people know the work that I have done here in the city of Camden and saving one young life at a time. And also, y'all know this Saturday is the conference where I'll be a youth speaker speaking to children and just letting them know that you can too. The same way overcame my adversities and I am now able to talk to them today. It all comes down to the decisions they make. So the decisions is in your thoughts. And like you said, the thoughts define our reality.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you have it, guys. Help us out here. If you need it, if you need to talk, this is the Comfort Level Podcast. We talk, even if you don't want any help, we talk. Queen, we talk, right? And maybe you can change your way of thinking if it's, keeping you from what really should be motivating you or what is lowering your potential. So we're not going to keep everybody today. We just wanted to get this message out once again. You know what I mean? On Thursdays, like we do. We swayed a little. I was out of town. You was out of town. We've been moving. You know what I mean? Becoming mobile is one thing as well. You know what I mean? So it's good, that you can be on location with your messages and your assistants, and I can be on location bringing the messages, to people that we can't, exactly be with or in front of, by way of podcast.
Absolutely, and that's why I will always support the Comfort Level Podcast for bringing, diverse subjects and things that matter in our community and the outreach and the advocacy and all the leadership, everything that comes with into play with saving one young life out here. We all are trying to make it, and more so is make it in our reality. So thank you so much, Jenny, for opening up the platform, and letting people like me and others come on here and be able to, just converse and talk and talk and talk, like you said.
Yeah.
So be
That's
drilling in people that it is definitely, a vital time in our lives to start changing our thoughts.
That's right. Yeah. So once, we just keep moving into that same direction, that's we're gonna reach the light. Put it that way. We're gonna reach the light on all these situations. Yeah. So we're gonna get out of here, Queen, because I know you busy. Yeah, all right.
Thank you so much.
Saying goodbye. Thank you.
See
All
you
right,
later.
folks. That was Mogul Queen, guys, and that was a great interview. Thanks everybody for coming. Make sure that you share, you subscribe, and you follow the Comfort Level Podcast. Okay? Reality Music, CO. It's all there. Anywhere you get your podcast. Thanks for joining us. And we out of here, guys.